Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Fantastic Four issue 24, 2022. Oh, really like this cover, even though it doesn't really fit with anything that's really kind of happening in the issue. So, let's crack into it. Now this issue is mainly narrated by Reed's perspective, which is very interesting because we had Johnny's last one and he was pretty much getting choked out by an alien. So let's get into this. Reed's research log installment 4F7C24. I've always been inspired by the National Transport Safety Board's aircraft crash investigations. With future lives and the safety of air travel itself on the line, the NTSB relies entirely on science and observation. They assume nothing and record only verifiable facts. If Flight X of Aircraft Y crashes on Flight Path Z, they don't report we found the wreckage of Flight X. They report wreckage was observed consistent with a Model Y aircraft impacting terrain beneath Flight Path Z. Why? Because before they've found actual evidence that this was Flight X, they can't rule out the possibility of a second unregistered flight in the same type of plane traveling in the same direction that may also have crashed entirely unnoticed. Assume nothing. Trust only what you can verify. So, I actually agree with Reed on that kind of thing. Dirk, hold still, Johnny. No, I need to leave now, as we have Sue using her force bubble on top of the alien. An alien was observed consistent with those we found crashed to Earth in spaceships built out of hollowed-out protons. Unlike all the others, it was neither dead nor dying, and its arrival coincided with the end of the proton impacts. Communication was established. Yep. So then we get to them actually talking. And I love the art style because at first you're like, oh, okay, this thing looks all kind of cute and everything. Do not let the looks deceive you. Okay, I apologize if my behavior was startling. You have to understand, I need to leave, and I couldn't know if you'd be friendly. We're friendly, but why are you? Your world's technology seems advanced enough to have particle accelerators. Is that true? I glance at Sue. Her answer comes in braille across force fields running across the fingertips of myself and the rest of my family. Explore, but be careful. NTSB rules. Trust only what we can verify. Damn straight. It's like, why do you need it? My name is Reed, and in our world, Earth has several. I've built my own fantastically large Hadron Collider under this building and much of New York State. It could be adjusted to send a particle out into space, but we'd like to know more before we let you use it. Yes, Alicia. And I love how they kind of tripled on that. So then we see that the aliens let out of the force field. Time is of the essence. Please get started on the adjustments now, and I'll explain more in parallel. We humans gladly trade effort for knowledge. I'll begin the alterations. Good job, Reed. I also really like these kind of suits that they've got on. They're really kind of cool. It's not a lie. I'll begin them. I just won't complete them until I know it's safe to do so. Damn straight, Reed. I am she called Zirka. Zirka? That's how I pronounce it. Zerixa. There we go. My world, the one I left billions of years ago, was a paradise. We'd risen up from the ocean, solved our problems, and then, as we finally looked up toward the stars, we found them to be beyond our reach. It's like, huh, okay. Travel between stars across the galaxy was so difficult as to be impossible. The energy required, the vast gulfs of both time and space that must be crossed, it could not be done. It's like, that is one of the biggest kind of problems to try and solve. But then we discovered an exotic particle, formed only deep within our sun, that allowed one to adjust their size, to shrink, and then to return to normal scale. With this technology, the problems of interstellar travel were solved. Traveling inside a proton sidestepped them all. Very true. Fuel was not required when the particle could be launched from our world at functionally the speed of light, and the length of the journey was irrelevant when time dilation kept you from aging. That would actually probably be the best kind of way to somehow achieve interstellar travel like that. Great Scott, the faster one travels, the slower time goes compared to everyone else, and when voyaging inside a cosmic ray traveling at almost the speed of light, then crossing a galaxy, a journey of billions of years, is experienced in mere seconds. And the way she's like side-eyed and was like, yep. Sorry, I'm confused. If this is all space exploration, then what's the deal with all the dead and dying peeps hitting us? Aren't you not supposed to age at those speeds, like, at all? Very good question, Johnny. That's not stupid at all. Protons solve the problem of travel, but not the problem of control. You can't steer a proton, and even if we could, time dilation means we never react in time to do so. Very true. And I kind of like the paneling here. We've got regular panels, then the alien, then the other little panels. And at these distances, aiming is optimistic at best. For each that hit a world, thousands more would miss. Given the danger and the tremendous expense of harvesting particles from the sun, the launches weren't for exploration. Instead, they were for those who had the resources to fund such a trip, and who had nothing left to lose. As for why here, the answer is simple. Your planet orbits the sun in a constellation my people see as divine. As we see the constellation looking pretty much octopus squiddy, kind of like them. Makes sense. I don't know why our ships are arriving all at once. Perhaps some interstellar phenomenon modified our trajectories. There's no way to tell. Wait, sorry, you're saying this whole thing is just space cryonics? A bunch of rich people who don't want to die, so they grasp at any straw, no matter how unlikely, how expensive, for just a chance to cheat death? Yeah, that's kind of how it sounded, Alicia. Yes, and there's no shame in it. My world is free. Those who've earned tremendous wealth are allowed to spend it however they please. Look, and there's a great grace and beauty in what we've done. You're kind of defending that a little bit more than probably should. Voyaging across the depths of the cosmos and time itself, buoyed by the trust that when you arrive, the universe will have evolved enough to save you, even from death, is a beautiful act of hope. Could be. But why the rush to leave now? You're not dead or dying like the others. You got plenty of time, don't you? Because I can see at a glance that your Earth is not advanced enough to save us. I must voyage further into space, further into the future. And then she's able to see, Zerixa is able to see. I can also see, Reed, that you are delaying your adjustments. It's like, shit, fuck. Making such changes is trivial. So trivial that I could do it myself. Goodbye, Reed. And it's like, you asshole, motherfucker. And good luck. She kind of like disappears. Teleportation. That's awesome. I mean, it's bad that she escaped, and I didn't even know Zerixa had that technology, but still pretty awesome. She teleported her dang shit too. The way she said good luck sounded like a threat. I don't like it. She's got to be headed to our particle accelerator. Sue, Alicia, Val, Franklin, I need you to remain at the computer back. Dad, we can help. We can. I know you can, which is why I need you here. And I'm like, yeah. Reed's not saying that because you fucking suck ass. He needs people that know what the hell they're doing at the computer shit. You know? If Zerixa's world could send matter to us, it's reasonable that they could send information too. And though it too would take billions of years to arrive, the arrival time would be now. So he's having them kind of try and figure out any kind of information. The computer is picking up radio waves from the same region of space the particles have been coming from. I believe it's Zerixa's people, and I expect it might allow us to verify how much of what she's told us is true. Exactly, Reed. To send a message across the galaxy, they need to encode what they want to say using math and universal constants, just like we did at Arecibo. Yep, precisely. And decoding an unknown alien message would benefit from the skills of scientists, of archaeologists, and of artists. Honey, go. We're on it. It's like, yeah, Sue. And I'm glad that we're getting things that all of the team can do, all of the family, and it doesn't feel like anyone's getting shit shaft for it. You're spectacular, Sue. You all are. And Reed truly believes that. And I love it. And he believes it, and they're able to step up to his opinion of them because of what they're able to accomplish. It's like, yay. I leave with full confidence that they will learn more of what the message contains. Unfortunately, by the time the elevator brings us to the particle accelerator in the basement, and I really kind of like that one down there as we see Johnny, Ben, Reed, Nikki, and Joe. Zerixa was observed having almost finalized her adjustments to my machinery, suggesting we'd arrived too late. Zerixa, stop this. You can't make me stop anything. And even if you could, why, Reed, I simply wouldn't allow you to. It's like, really? I really like this kind of shot here with this page. It's like, fuck you. Whatever they're trying to say, it's a lot. We've got 6.5 million bits of data here. 6,499,993 to be precise. Wait, that's a semi-prime. 89,041 times 23. That can't be a coincidence, Valeria. Let's add a new line every 23 bits and see what we get. Frankly, nice. And then we see them pretty much trying to take out Zerixa. It's like, damn it. God, what are you, fireproof? And what are you, not fireproof? It's like, okay, that... Sure? I mean, that comeback's kind of weak. Zerixa, tell us what you want. You were right, Reed. I'm not sick like the others. I didn't take this trip because I had to. I took this trip because I wanted to. As she's able to, like, slam everybody back. That's working, Mom. This data, it looks like a list of elements building up to more advanced compounds. And it feels like there's images here, too. Simple line drawings made of bits. Figures with 8 legs. That's proof we're on the right path. Alicia's shapes, Mom. They're becoming more symbolic. I think they're trying to build words. Our advantage is they're trying to make themselves understood. If these symbols are mapping onto concepts, then hold on, I've got something here. As we see them kind of going through it. Why should I die? The things I've accomplished. I'm a great woman, Reed. That's not my opinion. Objectively speaking, my death would be an incalculable loss. Oh god, we got one of these assholes. Fuck you. But what's more, beyond deserving to live forever, I also want to. I want to live as long as I can, and I don't want to die, and that's natural. And if I can ensure those things, then then who are you to stop me? If you're doing that and pretty much going to try and kill other people in the same process, fuck you. Dad, the message. It's teaching us how to understand them. You're right. It's a message, an urgent one. We're listening. We're listening, Val. The modifications are complete. My ship has already been shrunk to appropriate size. Reed, you have already lost. We will not see each other again. No! As we see it kind of going in, it's like, yes. The particle accelerator. Whatever changes she makes, they're powering up. I can't shut it down. Then I'm going after her. We don't know what she has planned, but I don't suspect it's good. Then no, old friend. There's only the one encounter suit. It's for adjustments at microscale. I never saw this scale of emergency. It's like, shit, so Reed's pretty much going alone on this, but he still has his backup. The message is telling us their history, Reed. Zerixa told us part of the truth. Shrinking particles were mined from their sun's core, and that's what made those proton ships possible. But she didn't tell us that taking those particles caused their sun to dim with each and every harvest. The mining was slowly killing their solar system, but it was profitable, so it continued. And as more and more of the dying rich used their money to escape into space, their sun got darker every time. Finally, the inventor of the mining process, that's Zerixa Reed, escaped too, but not before taking a huge amount of particles from the sun, ensuring she could take as many trips as she wanted. Dear God, she extinguished it. The people who sent the message billions of years ago, Reed, they were freezing to death. It's like, oh, you really build up this of being like, fuck Zerixa. Asshole. To do that, it's like, oh yes, it's profitable to pretty much do a kind of situation that kills the rest of the planet and people. Fuck you. I'm wrapping myself around a second particle, accelerating towards Zerix's. The strain is unbearable. I distract myself with reason. Why Zerix's urgency to leave? She left her world an eternity ago. What possible rush could there be? Unless, as we see Reed in his, like, ball form, it's like, oh shit. And then the voices of my family in my earpiece confirm what I already suspect. Reed, those people hated Zerixa and what she'd done to them. They're saying they're going to clean up their mess. Wait, the message has changed back to mathematics. Now it's, oh my god. These are the formulas for nuclear fission, Mom. They're the equations for atomic bombs, and they're repeating over and over. It's like, shit, from hell's heart, I stab at thee kind of thing. I'm like, granted, not liking Zerixa and wanting to stop her from hurting other people, that makes sense. But don't let hate and anger kind of drive you to pretty much do this, because then it's indiscriminate. That she could stop on a world that's inhabited with people that have nothing to do with this, like Earth, and then you're just blowing them up. I try to reply, but my family can't hear me. Comms drop as I approach relativistic speeds and leave their time frame. A second in here is already 2 or 3 out there. I have to move fast before time runs out. Thankfully, I can see Zerix's ship, which means it's time to go to work. He then springs himself after her. It's like, yep. Zerixa, stop this now. Reed, how did you know matter? You cannot possibly intervene. As she's doing her shit and trying to, like, kick his ass. I attack Zerixa, trying to reach the controls to slow this particle down. She counters in kind. My controls in here direct the accelerator out there. We just hit emergency velocity, Reed. It is a stalemate, one I can't break. Suddenly, a shift in view from light to dark. We're no longer in the particle accelerator on Earth. We've been launched into space. Zerixa's controls no longer do anything. Damn. And this is interesting to see, like, 2 stretchy people fight each other. And though I cannot discern them, our particle ship screams past dozens more just like it, each traveling in the opposite direction, and each carrying nuclear annihilation with them. It's like, god damn, as we see it, it's like, that shouldn't be your last act, man. You fool, Zerixa, you've doomed us all. Ah, you know of the nukes then. Now you see why I was so anxious to leave. Some people don't agree with the freedoms my wealth has earned me. Your freedom is not to kill your entire solar system and planet, you dumb bitch. The nukes are nothing, Zerixa. My family has 4 dozen ways to deal with those easily. Earth will be fine. We will not. My particle accelerator wasn't aimed anywhere. We're heading toward empty space. We're tearing across the cosmos at the speed of light towards nothing, Zerixa. Nothing will ever slow us down. We will never interact with another particle again until the universe is so old that even protons decay. When we finally stop moving, there won't be anything left. And I love that. It's like, my family will stop it, you dumb bitch. And then, but it's like, guess what? We're dead. Damn you. You got your wish. You get to live. And I do too. We're trapped in here with each other for all the eons the universe has left. And for the handful of hours it'll feel like in here to us. And with all that time, you'll change nothing, affect nothing, never do anything to make the universe a better place. That's your legacy, Zerixa. We'll die last, and all that means is we'll die the most alone. It's like, damn, that's horrible. And I'm like, yep, I wouldn't want that either, Reed. No. Time passes so quickly. I measure it first by stars going out. Then I measure it by the new stars that fail to form. There's no more gas clouds left to feed them. The stars die one by one until there's nothing left. The universe is expanding faster than we can travel it. And in the bleak and endless darkness, somewhere inside a colossal sepulchral universe long since incapable of supporting life, our proton finally disintegrates, and we tumble into hard vacuum. Just an atom's breadth above absolute zero. Damn. And then we see this as he is talking about this, and them just drifting there. It's haunting. I'm suffocating and freezing to death at the same time, even as my blood boils in the low pressure. Again, I try to move past the pain. I focus on reason. I observe. It's not possible to experience a greater cold, I think. Isn't that remarkable? This is what death feels like. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to able to have that thought. I try to gather data, draw conclusions, even though I know my brain is starving for oxygen, which means I can trust neither it nor my senses. It's interesting what you do when you're confronted with death, and Reed just is himself. Which is why I now confess. I've had to move away from NTSB standards here. I can't prove anything. I can't verify a single fact. But it felt like I'd encountered something in that empty void, a warmth, and a hand that felt like home. This is the time of the becoming of the ninth cosmos. You are not to be here. There's a doom coming. You are needed there for your... And it's like, this is nuts. It's like, and I love how it says a doom, and it's like, what you talking about? But I think this is referring to, like, of course, we have had the whole thing of Galactus being from a previous universe and becoming the Devourer. This, of course, is, I think, linking up with Franklin being the next kind of, the last survivor of our Marvel universe, and then going into the ninth cosmos. Like I previously stated, I couldn't trust my senses. Yes, for your family. Thus, there's little purpose in dwelling on it any further. Franklin, as we see him saying Franklin. I love how it's big, then a little panel, and a little panel. I find myself back at the particle accelerator. Reed, there you are. I knew you'd find a way to beat Zerixa. Can I explain how? Susan used a force field funnel, the same one she'd used earlier to protect the exposed side of Earth, and redirected the particle nukes to explode harmlessly in our sun. Good on you, Sue. I never doubted her. I never doubted any of them. We go to the roof, and I trained the Baxter Building's telescopes on the area of space Zerix's transmission came from. The light it captures has been traveling toward us for billions of years. It came from a dying star, one dimmer than the rest, and still getting dimmer. And it's really kind of cool that this is like the telescope, and then we see it wink out. And then it's gone. This is really kind of cool. I just really love those two panels there, and I mean, I've been loving the art in this whole story in this one, but that just really takes it. And we get the fan page and a treat of the next cover. But we're not done yet. We also get a thing, a universe unlike any other with the ultimate one there, and we get a little bit at the end. Reed's research log postscript. It's been days since our encounter with Zerixa, but one final particle has just been detected. Sue funneled it to the lab, and Johnny and I have shrunk down to meet it. Not knowing what it could contain, we have to be careful. I'm sorry, Reed. I keep thinking about what happened, about Zerixa's world. They were dying, and they knew it, and the very last thing they did, their very last act, Reed, was to send a bunch of Doomsday nukes into space. I get that, Johnny. That's dark, right? To hate someone so much that you don't care if it hurts Who it hurts, even if it takes 1,000,000,000 years. I don't know, man. I think it might be messing me up. It should mess you up, Johnny, and I get that. That's horrible. As we make our way to the particle ship, I do my best to answer Johnny's question. I tell him what I know of hate. How it can help you to be your worst self. Very true, Reed. I paraphrase Daviko and tell him it's a reflex, an event. I tell him it's powerful, but I also speak to him of love. I tell him that though Xerxes' world was an enigma, I expect it was, in many ways, not unlike our own. A world of competing ideas and competing philosophies. Perhaps in the midst of all that bleakness, there were still those who believed things could be better, who believed that they still had options beyond revenge. Very true, Reed. As we see them kind of opening it up and Johnny having a smile on his face, I'm thrilled to discover my supposition is not without evidence. And then we flip over. And then we get this. And it's so cute, and I love how this kind of is an homage to kind of Krypton and Superman sending at their last child. We're inside the final proton ship. We don't find illness and death. Instead, we find the last daughter of an ancient world, the sole survivor of a planet that froze solid eons before our sun had even formed. And Johnny Storm tells her, in a language she's never heard, that there are so many on our world who will love her, who will adopt her. She's alive. Against cosmic astronomical odds, she's alive. We find hope. That's awesome. And I love that. And I love how cute it is and how cute Johnny is and Reed's with them. And it's just, I like that ending there. So, I really enjoyed this because I liked seeing Reed's perspective, his analysis of what's going on, them getting the lowdown from Zerixa and understanding her complete and utter disregard for others' lives and wanting to essentially be immortal. And how that pretty much screwed her and Reed, sending Reed pretty much to the ninth cosmos of Franklin's like, you kind of have to go back, you kind of have to deal with what's going on there. And that was kind of cool. I liked that kind of linking up there. And then showing that Xerxes people did send nukes after him, but Fantastic Four were able to handle it, and that the last act of the people were to send their hope, their child, for the child to live. And it's really kind of cool. And Johnny having that hope back. And it's a really good ending. And I really enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see what other stuff is going to be going on with the Fantastic Four. I love this little arc here. You start off with, like, Johnny gets choked out by an alien. And then we end with Reed battling with another scientist who's just a fucking asshole. And then ending with a Squid Superman. And we'll see. I hope that a Squid Supergirl. I want to see. I hope that this sticks her. She sticks around because I want to see what they do with her. Kind of similar to Bats in the Doctor Strange comic. It's like there's so much potential there. What in the for her to be in the Future Foundation, for her to work with Valeria and Valeria, Franklin, Nikki, and Joe, and to potentially be built up into a new iteration of Fantastic Four. I mean, Grant, we kind of already had that with Val, Frank, and Nikki, and Joe. As some that can be like the next kind of iteration of the Fantastic Four and have that baton passed off. But of course, that's the whole bit with the Future Foundation and leading up to those people. And I just really enjoyed this. I love the art. I love what was going on. I love the interactions of the family of the Fantastic Four. And I can't wait to see what happens next. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.